All right, and welcome to our rescheduled multi passionate edge live stream. I am your host, Cheryl Pullins. I am founder of the Iconic Woman Club. So go to, go to iconicwomanclub.com so you can become part of the Iconic Woman Club community. There is a lot happening there where I'm really creating something that I think is going to be a total help and blessing to the multifaceted woman, the multi passionate woman, the woman that really wants to use her passions to build an empire. She wants to turn her passions into riches. All right. So, I had to reschedule Wednesdays live because we were kind of sitting in limbo a little bit with a hurricane like, not like, but a hurricane situation that we did not catch the brunt of. So all was well, but a little further north of the state, they really, they really caught it. Some areas around us had a lot of flooding, but other than that, and damage and things like that. So we're really blessed. The area we live in has a higher elevation, and the most we've ever had personally is power outage, and we didn't even have that this time. So we were good. Thank you to those who text, sent messages, um, really blessed just by the people that's in our lives. One of my beautiful dear friends sent us a whole thing of groceries, filled our fridge, and no question, didn't ask, wasn't, she just was like, what's your address? So that really is just so wonderful to have people in your life like that. They are definitely precious. All right. So what are we getting into today? So little backstory, just a little backstory, not a whole lot. A couple weeks ago, or maybe was it a couple weeks ago? I don't know. I can't remember if it was last week or week before. I can't remember, but I was doing a live and I was talking about us being in a new era. I was talking about being in a new era. And if you saw my social media post a couple days ago, I said, when I said that, I'm like, that was like a directly, from the Holy Spirit in the moment. It wasn't pre-planned for me to say that. A lot of my lives aren't my key points maybe, but a lot of things that I say, they're really like direct downloads, while I'm present and while I'm in the flow. And I said this word about us being in a new era. After I said that, I kid you not, everywhere I looked, somebody was saying something about new era. I mean, I've seen an ad going around using the word, and I even commented. I'm like, my goodness, I've started saying this. I was like, I didn't like, I didn't know it was like really a thing, but I've been saying this. And then I was reading something else and I saw something about the word era and something else. And then the other day, I saw a post that Diddy did announcing his collaboration with The Weeknd and I guess their new music. And he puts in the caption, something to the effect of it being a new era. I'm like, now wait a minute. Now wait a minute. The thing that I find very fascinating on this is it's coming from different angles. Like I heard it. I clearly heard it when I said it that day, and everywhere I look it's being confirmed. And then when I sat and I thought about it and I was like, "Huh." I saw something. I was like, "Wait a minute. Taylor Swift's tour was called the Eras Tour." Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I saw the word, but I really didn't pay attention to the fact that it was era, eras. I didn't pay attention. I was like, okay, that's the name of her tour. In my mind, I'm like, I don't even know what that is. Literally, I kid you not. I was like, I don't even know what that is because I wasn't ready for it then. I mean, she started that tour when like earlier this year, and it took me till now to figure out it was eras, as in eras. Then I looked and I was like, okay, Beyonce's on tour, and her tour is called Renaissance. Well, Renaissance is a French word, and it means rebirth. Rebirth, and the Renaissance was between it was the transition from medieval times, the medieval era, to the modern era. Now, historically, if you look at the word era, okay, it's historically, if you look at it, the eras of history, human history, there have been four major eras: prehistoric, ancient, medieval, and modern. In every era, every distinct period of time is characterized by specific events, or developments, or significant changes that set it apart from other periods. Right. So let me give you like the real brief definition. I basically gave you the definition, but let me give you the real brief definition of the word era. It's a distinct period of time characterized by specific events, developments, or a specific events, specific events, developments, or significant changes that set it apart from other periods. Now, take that definition, lay it, look at it like an overlay, lay it over your life. Lay it over your life. Lay the idea and concept of your life having been lived in eras. Lay that right over and see what you get. See what you get. See what specific events took place. See what developments took place. See what changes took place. I literally can look at my life and go, well, that's an era, not error, era. That's an era. That's a time. These are some specific events that happened during that time. Like, like my first marriage was an era in my life. It was an era. It was a time. It was a specific period of time. My first marriage, it was, in terms of the marriage, it covered 14 years of my life, right? 14 years of my life, that era took place. Now, when I drilled down and look in that era, in that period of time, there are specific events, there were developments, and there were significant changes that took place in that 14-year time period. My daughters were born. Um, my husband at the time, we became he became the pastor of a church. Like, all of this took place in this 14-year span. Then that that era ended, marked by divorce. Then I stepped into a new era, another new era. I was now single. Right? And that singleness lasted, uh let me see. It lasted from the time we were actually divorced until I got married again was 8 years. The time we separated until I got married again was 10 years. But I'll just count from the actual divorce. It was 8 years. So now we have this stretch of time where in my era of singleness, there are whole lots of specific events and developments that happened in that time span. Trust and believe. Right? Emotional stuff, just all kinds of things that I could look at and see are part of that era. Then I stepped into a new era, right? So, like I said, I really would like for you to do this with your own life. Sit and look at the different eras of your life. And now look at it and go, ask yourself the question, am I stepping into a new era? Am I stepping into a new period of time? And here's what I want you to do. If you are, here's what I want you to do. The first thing I want you to do is embrace the shift. Embrace the shift. Embrace the transition. Embrace leaving one era and entering a new one. We like to call it a new level, a new season, our next level. Well, you can call it whatever you want to call it, but for the purpose of this, we're calling it a new era. So embrace the shift into this new era, right? Then I want you to reflect and learn from events or experiences of the past, right? Reflect and learn from experiences from the past. Reflect and learn from experiences of the past. That's so, you want to make sure that there are some things that you were supposed to learn that you actually learned them through some experiences that you had that you don't want to repeat. You don't want to take certain things into your new era, into your new season. There are certain mindsets, behaviors, perspectives, beliefs you don't want to take into this new era. So this is an opportunity for you to reflect on the past, learn from past experiences. Okay. So what was the first one? Somebody put it in the comments. The first one was embrace the shift. Embrace the shift. Just lean into it. I told somebody earlier today, she had sent me a message and she was asking me about something and she wanted to share. And I have a couple people that I kind of peer mastermind with. And we're very committed to one another with regard to that. So we reach out to one another whenever. and leave messages and things and ask questions. And she asked, she just wanted to share and get my perspective, and I told her, I said, lean into it, lean into it. you know we often, things come, um our deepest desires, things that we want to do, things we want to experience. And when it shows up, what else shows up with it? Resistance. Resistance. We resist the very thing that we say we want, that we desire. So changes, new level, next new season, next level, new era. Lean into it. Lean into it. So embrace the shift. Then reflect and learn. Reflect on the past, learn from experiences from your past era, your past season. What lessons did you learn? What lessons don't you want to repeat again? Right? Be real intentional about that. Be like, you know what? I had these experiences, and all of these experiences um, are really centered around the same lesson that I really need to learn. What do I need to learn from these? What do I need to learn from this? Right? What do I not want to take into this new era? Ask yourself the questions. The clearer you are about those things, the better your next era is going to be. The more we understood the what happened during ancient times, what happened during medieval times, if we learned lessons about civilization and humanity, if we learned those lessons back then the modern era, right? Um, we might not repeat some of the stuff that happened, right? Or then again, who knows, right? Some things we have not learned as humanity, you know, but taking a look at your own history, right? Remember, I said there are four eras of human history. What are your eras? What are your eras? And learn from each one of those eras, right? The last thing I want to say is, once you embrace the shift, once you reflect and learn from the past, now look forward. Look forward. What goals do you want to achieve? What goals do you want to achieve? What goals have you wanted to achieve, but you haven't? Are those goals still the same that you're taking into this new era? Are there goals that you're now saying, you know what, these aren't the goals anymore? My goals have shifted. My goals have changed. My goals are more redefined. I'm a different person. I'm in a new season, and I want my goals to reflect that. So maybe everything that you've done up until now has just been preparation, not just been, has been preparation for the big moment of your life. Maybe you've been on a journey of exploration and learning, and now it's time to build. Now it's time to build. It's time to set the foundation. Maybe now it's time for you to, so you look at some eras. So I love using the analogy of building. I grew up in the city, so in Center City we watched buildings being built all the time. And long before they break ground, there's a lot of things that happen. There are architects involved, there are drawings involved, there's city planning involved, there's all these people that are coming to the table to make this building happen. Maybe you've been in a season of preparation, an era of preparation. Maybe you've got the blueprint, right? You've got the drawings. You know what the building's going to look like. You've already gotten your approval, right? The only, God's already said go, right? You have all that in place. Now it's time to break ground, lay the foundation to build. So maybe this era now is no more. I saw this word the other day and I was like, oh my gosh. And it said that, it was of course a word that someone made up, but I absolutely loved it. It was procrastinating. Procrastinating. You know all the planning, but you're still procrastinating. You're never really doing anything. You just planning. You just writing and writing and writing and writing and writing and writing, right? You just writing, you're planning, and you never move yourself to implementation. You never move yourself to breaking ground. You never move yourself to laying the foundation so you can build. You're still in the planning stages. You're still sitting at the table in the boardroom. Everybody left. The meeting's over. It's done. It's time to go. Go to work. But you're still sitting in the boardroom. Speaking of boardroom, there's still some seats available for the Icon Factor Live Boardroom Experience. I'll make sure I put the link in the comments, because it's a very limited seating. That is no hype. It's only 12 seats available, and half of those are gone. So, but you're still sitting in the boardroom while everybody else left, and you're still sitting there. But it's time for you to move on. It's time for you to move on to the building phase. So what in this new era you're stepping into? What are the goals that you want to achieve? They might be 2-year goals. There might be 90-day goals. They might be 5-year goals. But what are they? What goals are you looking at that you've been looking at for the past 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and you still haven't done anything with? Hello. That was for me. That was for me, right? You have financial goals. What have you done to reach those goals? You're saying I want to make 6 figures. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be, and there's nothing wrong with any of that. But what are you doing about it? What are you doing about it? You got a plan for it? My husband sat me down the other day, literally sat me down the other day, and he's like, "Okay, ma'am, what's your goals? What's your goals? What's going on? What are we doing? I need to see what's happening." And my husband does not step into the business side, very little. He just goes off of what I tell him. But the other day, I think because we were just sitting around and, for 3 days together, and he's like, what are your goals? What I want to see? What are we doing? Where are we going? And I was like, okay. I had no resistance to it. I didn't buck it. I didn't do sometimes the usual thing I do, like, wait, like what? Like, it's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. Now, of course, in my office, I got paper around, I got stuff in my head, but having someone other than a coach, have someone who is really personally vested in what I'm doing, say, let's see what your goals are. Let's see what's happening. Because he's asking from the standpoint of let me see how I can support you. Let me know how I can support you. And if you haven't done that, people don't know how they can support you. People don't know how they can come alongside and help you. They don't know. So really look at what goals you want to achieve in this new era. Again, I'm not telling you to plan it for 20 years. When it comes to goal setting, I think goal setting is personal from the standpoint of, for some people, they need short-term goals. I need to know my goals for the next 30 days. Now, you might have a bigger vision, right? But the actual goals to get to that vision you might need to shorten the time. Some people don't need 6 months to reach a goal because it won't happen. They'll keep rolling that 6 months every 6 months. And before you know it, it'll be 6 years. So, when you look at your goals, go, okay, what piece of this, what part of this can I work on and reach a milestone within the next 30 days or within the next 6 weeks? Right? So you're in a constant state of movement, because movement builds momentum. And the faster you move, the more momentum you build. Okay. So that's what I had for you. This was not what I was going to talk about at all. But the other day when I did that post and I was talking about era, and I was just thinking about it, and I walked that out kind of the way I just explained it to you about what, me saying the word, then seeing the word, then thinking back to, Taylor Swift, Beyonce, and then actually what happened, what really got me when I saw Diddy did that post, and I was like, wait, now just wait 1 minute, right? Just wait 1 minute. So I was going to talk about something else specific to your personal branding, but this to me was just too good. It was too juicy not to talk about, because it's here. A new era is here. It's up to you if you're going to embrace it. It's up to you if you're going to reflect and learn from your past. And it's up to you if you're going to be intentional about achieving your greater goals. And I'm going to give you 3 scriptures. I'm going to give you 3 scriptures because for me, it's important for me to seal this, just within myself, for me to seal this from a perspective that I believe in, and that's a biblical perspective. So for embrace the shift, I want you to write down Ecclesiastes 3:1. Ecclesiastes 3:1. Ecclesiastes 3:1. For reflect and learn, I want you to write down Proverbs 2:2-5. Proverbs 2:2-5. And for achieving your goals, achieving your greater goals, I want you to write down Proverbs 16:3. All right. So that's what I have for you today. Are you in a new era? And if you are, it's time for you to embrace the shift, reflect and learn from your experiences of your past, and look forward to achieving your greater goals. Make sure you go to iconicwomanclub.com. Get your name in the community. It's more than a list. You get your name in the community, because the Iconic Woman Club is all about helping you rise to your greatness and turn your passions into riches. This is Cheryl Pullins, and I'll see you next time.